seated there, you play your part. Uchilo Emerson. When I made reference to the National Development Plan, I wanted to show you that this is not a government plan. This is a country plan. Some of you were already there, you participated in its development and approval, which means you have a responsibility. Now, we can't come here and tell you what to do. We can't. You've got to tell us that this is what you are thinking, because God has given you. Therefore, you've got to tell us that this is where I want to go. Of course, when you do that, you don't just come up with something because he is doing it, which is, hey, umoya omubi amongst ourselves. Ngoba na you councillor and I can be a councillor. Just because he's running a piggery farm, I can do it because I see it works for him. Businesses that think like that, they never grow, which is what has destroyed us. We've got to learn to work together in appreciating that there's different challenges. And therefore, if you know the challenges, the first thing you do is to think about the solution. When you think about the solution, you come and sell it to us. Because we want to do away with problems, right? So if you're coming to sell to us a solution, we ought to think twice, it can work even if we have not seen it. That's why we said, we've got to build from ideation phase with the idea that one has, let's give an opportunity. Because that's how big companies and developed countries have managed to grow their economy. Go to America, you go to whoever, the Chinese, all of them. They even take from us because we don't invest in ideas there. We have our people leaving our country to go and station in San Francisco, in India, because all they are looking for is to be heard and given an opportunity to participate in their market. When they come now with those products, they're no longer South African, because they have to seize some of the rights, because they're getting the support there. They come as American products, as Chinese products, as whoever product. And the price, it's not even triple, it's something else. And as that happens, see, we then call for tenders in terms of the procurement process that we have in the system. And then we want to go for cheaper quotes. People that have been subsidized, Asanda, from their countries are made to compete with our own that we have not subsidized. They must compete on the price. As Umaina again was saying that she's selling chickens. Now you expect her to drop her price to 29 rands. You were never there for the production process. And the people that are charging 29 rands is because they get exempted from certain taxes, from this and that, hence they have access to the big retail. And we go and want those ones. We can't support her, she's expensive. And we come and complain about jobs that are not created. We come and complain about an economy that is growing. What becomes our responsibility as citizens of the country now towards supporting the locally produced services, and us responsible for small business development with everyone in our ecosystem to say we have to exempt small businesses from certain things if we are to create the jobs that we take. We can't make them mayor and MM. We can't make them pay the same amount that big business pay on the water rate. It doesn't make sense. We're killing them. They need to survive. They need to create other people. The same thing we do when big businesses come here. The CEO of SIFA will tell you was a DTIC. There's lots of things, and we're not going to charge them tax. We're going to put them in the SEZ. We're going to put them here and there. We're going to incentivize them. We have to do that for small businesses. We've got to agree that whether we talk about the fees in terms of the labor cost, whether we talk on production and whatever, but we must incentivize so that small businesses are able to trade, and when they trade, they have access to market, and they're able to grow the economy and create the jobs. So working with that red tape star at the presidency, we are identifying those. Butuam, you said we must add, it's already there. We are looking at the Land Act, we are looking at the Environmental Act, every legislation to say, "Engathi kunenkinga la." If we let this clause continue, the small businesses are going to be excluded, because our responsibility is to be ambassadors for small businesses. And as I said, the commitment to the country to create jobs. If we are not attending to these things, it means South Africa is not going to create jobs. We have learned from the scheme that you spoke about, which is why we are saying, we're not going to say don't comply. I did say, right, this is government, man. For government, man, you've got to account and comply, right? Okay, there I'm not nice. I know you don't want to hear that one. It is our responsibility to help you with the compliance. It is our responsibility to reduce the cost of compliance. Because you walking to Kimberley or having to drive to Kimberley, it's time for small business, and time is money. We've got to make sure that we're able, as I spoke about exemptions, to say there's a particular land that we assign as the municipality, we don't give you title deed. Those that want to farm from small businesses, they must come and do this. Those that want to do this, they must come and do this. So that when you grow bigger, you leave, and we give other small ones, right? Yes, we have to do that. Because if we give you a title deed, hey, I know you will sell it to the highest bidder. And other small businesses will not have an opportunity. So that's why we're saying, let this support remain a government asset, so that even other small businesses that will come after you are able to enjoy the same spin-off. So I've mentioned the issue of the tax in terms of exemptions. We are engaging. Don't go and say the minister said already you are exempted. We are engaging the National Treasury and SARS. We're engaging DTIC. We're engaging other government departments, public works, and also municipalities, those that have access to land and other buildings. We will be engaging soon the Minister of Public Enterprises, Norway Energy, in relation to ESCOM and the energy supply, to say how do we make sure, because again, breeding chickens or chicks, and then you're using that automated big machine, the next thing, there's load shedding. Already that's a big loss if you are in poultry, and even other people that are there. It's a loss to you, which means it's a loss to business. It can take time to recover. So we've got to address the infrastructure challenges together. They go with this development that we're talking about. So we're engaging, but whilst we're engaging them, we are calling upon entrepreneurs to get involved in the alternative energy programs that are there. Thinking of how to reduce the energy, technologies that can be brought, being involved in solar, you entrepreneurs. Because the challenge is that we tend to think that others must come and do it, and then now we consume. We talk about the township and rural economy. The CE spoke about, he said TRAP. That's the Township and Rural Enterprise Program that they have. But as we talk about the township and rural economy, see, one of the things we have not been able to clearly concretize is to say, if we are to develop township and rural areas, give an opportunity to the entrepreneurs that are in that area, starting from infrastructure. Why must my road be built by a big business coming out there, instead of partnering me as a person who's in the construction sector, so that you grow my capability, so that I grow from grade 1 to grade 4. And that can only happen when we are given opportunity to say, at least where we stay, where we do business, make sure that we are involved. So we are saying, as part of that TRAP, we're not only limiting Chisanyama, so the support about Chisanyama, you like hairstyles and all of those, we are saying now venture into the infrastructure. There's an opportunity there. Both Minister Mantash on the energy side is talking of billions. Both Minister Delil of Public Works and Infrastructure, they're talking huge monies when it comes to infrastructure. All we are asking for is a share for small business. But that share will be there if we do not have the capacity to deliver, we will miss out. Which is why we said CEDA has to enhance the efforts towards the business support that we provide to entrepreneurs. But CEDA will not know who needs what skill wherever you are at. We need you to take charge of your business and the ecosystem that you are operating in. CEDA will partner with others. I know you have your complaints. We are working towards addressing some of them. And of course, we're partnering with other people to say, let's make sure that we'll have sector specialists that must, as if we are in agriculture, people that must understand what is required on agriculture. We partner with Ministerial and the other people that are involved in that, in ensuring that we give you capacity. And therefore, when that opportunity arises to say, as we had committed in the Infrastructure South Africa plan, that in Northern Cape, in Francis Part, this is what we're gonna spend. All we want, we don't want any fight, we don't want lots of things. We just want our share. If MEC, when you allocate budget, you said you are giving these ones here, 1 billion rand, all you are asking for is our 30% in that billion. But that 30%, again, there are challenges as much as it's there. There is no transparency in the 30%. You continue as government to procure services from business that we don't even see here. I asked the HOD, I don't know where's the and others, where are the people that you give business to? Why are they not here? The ones that are on your SCM, your database. Where are they? Why have you not invited them? Because the invite was issued by you. Why don't we want them to be seen? No. What I'm trying to show is that the more we refuse to work together so that we can learn from each other, the more we deprive ourselves. Not here to bash others, but I'm trying to show that if we have success stories, whether it's 3 businesses that we have given an opportunity, they ought to be here and teach others. And understand that we are not here to say we don't want big businesses, but we are here to say there's a need for us to coexist. Government only has 30% contribution to the GDP. Only 30, lobamnika small business. That's why we deserve 30%. 70% is in the hands of the private sector. So when we talk about the social compact, we want that responsibility that says we have created an enabling environment for you big businesses to thrive. You ought to invest here domestically. But as I said, at the center of it is the quality of service that is rendered by small business. You know, when they hire you to provide catering in our event, and they tell you we're going to have lunch at 1 o'clock, and when we look for you at 1, hey, I'm still in an Uber. Hey. So people must wait for you. People that have paid or that are going to pay for a service. You must know you're embarrassing this sector. And that's what the business of business is about. The fact that you are small, it doesn't mean that you are not a business. That's why when I walk into whatever shop, if I don't like it, I don't like it. There's no compromise. So you're not going to expect me to say to a person in restaurant to say, man, you know, I don't like how you have cooked this spinach. Okay, you creamed spinach, you like it so much. I don't want creamed spinach, I want sauteed spinach. I get it, I'm here. But I ought to understand what do they offer in their menu. Because I can't come and demand things that are not in their menu too. But if they have said they offer it, they must give it to me in a manner that they have said they're going to give it to me. So we've got to be professional as small businesses. Let's not take this for granted. This is not some masngcwabane at home, or this is not umtshato wentombi yakho. You know umtshato wentombi yakho? Everyone is invited by you. Okay, you don't have daughters. Everyone is invited by you. You choose who you must invite, right? You choose what you can cook, how you want to cook it. They must not complain, I get it. They must eat because it's free food. This is not free food. People are paying for it, and therefore you have to meet their expectations. And when you do that, then others are inspired to say, "Yo, that was nice food. Who was the caterer? And she was efficient and everything. No. I think for the next event, I think I can hire her for my baby's birthday party." You are marketing yourself. I want to applaud you. You are business-like shaman and engagements. I must give that. The things we have seen, hey, you don't know. They did say that we were in the 5th province. We were shouted speaker. People stood up angry and we're like, hey, we did not invite communities. We invited business people. Which kind of business people scream at people and throw insults? How do you know that there's no customer next to you? Because when you are in business, when you take platform, you don't represent Stella. That's why we say introduce yourself and the name of your company. You represent the company. Now, if you do all those things, we're like, shame. We're not coming closer to that one. So these are the basics of understanding the business language and therefore the etiquette that goes with it. We've got to be professional. And as I say that, I heard another speaker that said, he was at the back, he said, we are here, we want to farm, but we don't have certain skills. He mentioned the issue of costing. I can't remember if it was farming or construction. We don't know how to do those things. Then we say, it is true. It is true that small businesses did not, It is true that small businesses did not get to benefit from the 200 billion rands because they did not comply. Now, as I said, our responsibility is to help you comply. So part of that compliance is bookkeeping. Hey, you don't like that. You run away from logbooks and everything. So we are saying, we understand you. You can do so much, but we do have unemployed graduates and artisans that are sitting at home. As we talk about unemployment, as we want to build capability to small businesses, how do we make sure that we bring those two together to help the unemployed graduates get an experience when they are working with you, exercising what they studied in school? They get an experience. For the artisans, they also stand a chance of getting a certificate, because others, they are told that you must go for apprenticeship and all the big English that people talk about. And we are saying we're going to be pairing the small businesses with those unemployed graduates. Again, the database that we're talking about, leveraging from what the NYDA has and the Department of Labor and the higher education to say, in this area, here are the number of unemployed graduates that must register, because we'll be calling them to register in the platform. So we look at this, hence we are saying it has to pick up from whatever area that we are in. So we're able to say, oh, Ingati, it goes green when it goes that side. If you go in and say, I need accounting skills, and then automatically you can be able to check who's around you with those an unemployed graduate. And therefore we just give them incentives, as I said, working with the Department of Higher Education and Labor. We're helping you so that you can comply, right? That's what I said. We understand the cost of compliance is expensive. You can't afford to pay the accountants and all of those. So we're trying to bring those services to you, and that's something. Thank you. So as we move to that, the last leg is that of saying, we exist to ensure that you have money to do business if you are in business, right? Money by ensuring that you have access to market. We are not giving you market access. That's why we are saying ours is to help you comply, ours is to make sure that your business can perform to whatever level, because when we engage the big businesses, they are saying they're skeptical to subcontract, because some of you, especially in the construction industry, you get to be subcontracted, got that 30%. Hey, the minute a million comes to your account, you quickly run and buy a car, a fancy car. And they're like, oh, I can't